On a crisp Monday morning, the sun cast long shadows across the bustling streets of Charleston, South Carolina. Inside the grand lobby of Pinewood Federal Bank, newly promoted assistant manager Emily Carson adjusted her blazer for the third time that morning. Her palms felt slightly clammy, her nerves heightened by the weight of her new responsibilities. This wasn't just any day. It was the day she intended to prove herself to the team. The morning rush of customers flowed steadily, the rhythmic hum of transactions filling the air. Among the crowd, a man stepped inside. He appeared older, perhaps in his late 50s, with salt and pepper hair and a face weathered by time. His clothes were simple, a faded green sweater and well-worn khakis, and he carried a modest canvas bag slung over his shoulder. Moving with quiet confidence, he approached the counter where Emily stood. "Good morning," he said, his tone polite but firm. "I'd like to make a deposit." Emily glanced up from her screen, giving him a quick once-over. Her eyebrows arched slightly. "Of course," she replied, her professional demeanor faltering just a little as she scrutinized his appearance. "Do you have your account details?" "Right here," he answered, pulling a folded piece of paper from his bag and handing it to her. As Emily took the paper, her fingers brushed against it. She opened it and quickly typed the details into her system. Within moments, the account details appeared on her screen, and her eyes widened in disbelief. The numbers were staggering, a balance far beyond the bank's usual thresholds. Her voice sharpened. "Sir, I'll need to confirm this with you. How much are you looking to deposit today?" $500 million, the man said matter-of-factly, as if it were the most ordinary thing in the world. Emily froze, staring at him before glancing back at her screen. Her heart raced, but her skepticism grew even faster. "Excuse me?" she asked, incredulous. $500 million? "Yes," he replied calmly, his tone unwavering. Straightening up, Emily crossed her arms. "Sir, we don't have time for jokes here. If this is some sort of scam..." The man interrupted her gently. "It's no joke. I've been with this bank for over a decade." Her expression hardened. "With all due respect, your appearance doesn't exactly scream multi-millionaire. I'll need you to step aside while I verify this further." The man didn't flinch. "Go ahead," he said, stepping back from the counter with composure intact. As Emily turned to consult her team, whispers rippled through the lobby. Customers craned their necks to observe the unfolding exchange. Nearby, a security guard folded his arms, his gaze fixed on the man as if ready to intervene. Minutes later, Emily returned, her frustration evident. "Sir, I'll need more proof. Do you have identification?" The man calmly reached into his bag, retrieved a leather wallet, and slid his driver's license across the counter. Emily inspected it briefly, but remained unconvinced. "This doesn't prove you're the account holder," she said curtly. "I'll have to escalate this matter. Please wait here." As Emily walked away, her heels clicked sharply against the marble floor. The tension in the room thickened. Customers whispered among themselves, their curiosity turning into judgment. "Who does he think he is?" someone muttered. Another laughed softly. "Looks like he just wandered in from the street." Suddenly, the heavy glass doors at the entrance swung open, and a tall, sharply dressed man strode in. His tailored suit and commanding presence marked him as someone important. It was Jacob Whitman, the regional manager of Pinewood Federal Bank. Jacob's eyes scanned the room, landing on the man at the counter. Recognition flashed across his face. He made his way over, cutting through the growing crowd. "Mr. Harper," Jacob said warmly, extending his hand. "It's good to see you again." The man smiled slightly, shaking Jacob's hand. "Good to see you too, Jake." Emily, returning with her manager in tow, stopped dead in her tracks. Her eyes darted between Jacob and the man she had just accused of fraud. "Mr. Harper is one of our most esteemed clients," Jacob announced loudly, turning to the room. "He's the founder of Harper Innovations and a key investor in this bank."